What's up guys, Janet here and back again for another video, and I've had a couple of tweets and a couple of private messages on my Facebook group saying that you're looking forward to hearing my thoughts on the Switch's hardware, and today's going to be that day. So before we dive downstairs into the living room, which is where we're kind of keeping the Switch, because I can't stream it because I don't have a Nintendo license to show gameplay, so there's no point in kind of setting it up up here with the streaming software. So it is going to be downstairs, so we're going to go downstairs, we're going to take a look. I'm also going to be talking about some of the things I've been reading in magazines and online about people complaining about the Switch. So I'm going to kind of draw my own conclusions on that. So I hope you guys can stay till the end. Go and get yourselves a cup of tea or whatever it is you want to go and get, and join me downstairs. Guys, this is my Switch review. Let's take a look. So guys, here we are. We've just got it on its basic kickstand. We've got the dock over there, and that's the first thing that I want to talk about with the Nintendo Switch, because it's the last thing you get out of the box. And when you pull it out of the box, one of the first things that I noticed was just how light and somewhat flimsy it feels. But when you actually kind of look into what it actually does, it's great for cable management because the cable's going to the back and you close the flap, and it does look really, really tidy, and it's just a docking station, guys. It is simply just that. I was expecting it to feel a little bit more weighty, and I was also expecting there to be some protection when you slide the shield into the dock. Now, there have been loads of people complaining that simple action that we saw so much on the trailer, putting the shield in, people have been scratching the screens, which I think is a little bit disappointing. And you guys can probably see this right here. This is a pack that I got yesterday, which included the case, the screen protectors and earphones. So I actually decided to put a screen protector on this because it's way too expensive to just kind of ruin from simply putting it in a dock, which is what it's meant to do, depending on how you're playing it, of course. So the dock feels a bit cheap. The plus side is it's great for cable management, and it's pretty maneuverable, and it's very, very small. So in kind of down here, I've got my Xbox One S, PS3, we've got the Wii U, and there wasn't much space. So thankfully, because it's so small, it is quite easy to integrate into your already collection, you know. So I think that as well is a bit of a bonus, the kind of space saver. Just be mindful that if you do buy one, I would highly, highly recommend getting a screen protector for this. It's definitely worth it, because as it stands, to my knowledge, you can't replace the shield. You can replace the Joy-Cons, you know, you can replace the kickstand, but you can't replace the shield. So I was a little bit, you know, because this is what the console is. That is just a dock. This is what the puppy is right here. So now we've got that out of the way, obviously I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know if you've scratched the shield by putting it in. When you do dock it, it does feel very, very flimsy. You kind of, when it's docked, I always second guess myself as to whether or not, is it docked, is it charging, did I hit the right spot with that? That's one of the biggest downsides for the Switch for me, is putting this thing in the dock. Now, this itself, as you guys can see, is on the kickstand, and somebody mentioned on my Facebook group that the kickstand feels flimsy for a reason. And if you go onto Nintendo's website, they do actually say that it is designed to break off. People, again, have been putting the shield into the dock with the kickstand left out. Accidents happen, guys, accidents happen. So it's designed to break off really, really easily, so it can literally be clipped back on. So I think that's quite a nice feature. I still stand firm in that I wish there were two kickstands on the back. As sturdy as this feels, I mean, it really, really does feel pretty darn sturdy. I would be very, very dubious about playing this out of the house, say, you know, on a plane, because that was shown as part of the trailer. But I am going away soon, so I will be doing a video in the airport and on the plane of me playing this, just to kind of test it, just to kind of test and see how robust it really does fare out of the house. So I did this video yesterday. You'll see the thumbnail right here, but it will also be in the cards. Looking at the Joy-Con grip controller versus the Pro controller, so I'm not going to talk too much. Go and check that video out, but I will say the Joy-Cons do feel absolutely amazing. This thing generally, kind of ergonomic wise, feels absolutely fabulous, and I can maybe compare it to some top kind of emulation tablets that are out right now, such as the JXD Feels really, really nice. It's got some nice weight to it. It feels really expensive. Everything is the same texture. The shield is the same texture as the official Joy-Cons. The buttons, again, are, like I said in the video, a bit of a downside on the Joy-Cons because they're very, very small. Compared to the Pro Controller, you're not going to get, for me, not as much responsivity as what you would get on the Pro Controller. So if you've not bought one yet, you might think that the Pro Controller is very expensive, and it is, but it's definitely, definitely worth it. Another point, I'm going to do this live, I'm not going to edit any of this. When you pull the kickstand out, which I'm going to do right now, note that it can be a bit fiddly. There's sometimes, you know, there'll be like a little groove for you to kind of pop your fingernail in, just pop it out, but there's nothing, and you almost feel as if you're going to break it. So to pull the kickstand out, it is a bit of a faff. It is a bit of a faff. And right underneath the kickstand, you've got a spot for the micro SD card. Not quite sure that's the best place for a micro SD card. And I'm joined now by Squeak, who I just had to cut and let in, but he can just stay there. He's a good cat. So we're talking about the kickstand and the micro SD card. The micro SD card slot is literally right behind it. I don't like that because if you're playing it in tabletop mode, the SD card is completely exposed, and there's no kind of door or flap to close it, so you can kind of really secure the SD card like you can with the game cartridge. So I've not experienced any problems. I've not heard anything of, you know, SD cards getting damaged, but that's just not in the best place. It would have been better to kind of have it up here next to a volume rocker. That would, for me, would have been a bit of a better position. But as of yet, I mean, I'm hypothesizing, as of yet, haven't had any issues. Hopefully, I won't have any issues whatsoever. So again, let me know what you think about that. So we've got the kind of quality of the docking station lacking. The SD card slot isn't in the best place. Let me know what you guys think. So I've been reading a lot of stuff about people still saying that the Switch is way too expensive, particularly because it doesn't have as many launch titles as people would have liked, and people are genuinely complaining that they have to pay over $400 to get their hands on this and just to play a Zelda game. So I want to address that. It's not just a Zelda game. For me personally, I found that it is provided like a multi-layers of experience after experience after experience. And in those games where you have so many oh my god and wow moments, for me, it's not just a game. It's about the many experiences that you can get from it. So I think people tend to be kind of looking at the Switch launch with a bit of a kind of one-track mind. I think we need to kind of stop and remember that it's a buyer's market. Nobody is forcing anybody to buy a Switch. It is not mandatory if you want to pay for it. If you want it that bad, you will pay for it. You would pay more for it. If you want it, you'll get it. If you don't. But we don't need, you know, I find it interesting that people are saying it's really expensive. I think it's great. I think it's absolutely worth every single penny. Zelda especially. I think if it wasn't for Zelda coming out, it would have been questionable. I would have still bought one, but I would have just fed off Bomberman. Whereas this, obviously, it's just hours upon hours of amazing moments. So I think we need to just be a little bit mindful. We need to keep our minds open with the Switch. It's an amazing piece of kit, absolutely phenomenal piece of kit. Yes, there are some flaws, but there were flaws with the Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, Xbox One. We're always going to find some things to pick at. You know, a lot of people are saying that they don't like that there's a fan in this. When you play with it undocked, you can feel like air blowing out. It's really quiet, and I think it's great that it's really quiet, but people have been complaining that they don't want to feel the air coming out. They don't want to feel that because they don't feel that on the 3DS. Why should they feel that on this? Well, this is a hell of a lot more powerful than the 3DS, so you're obviously going to need, you know, more technology inside this thing to keep it running as it should. Now, speaking of, you know, the kind of technology behind it, we know that this puts out 720p. Again, people aren't happy with it. If you're wanting 4K gameplay, the Switch is not going to be for you. On the TV, you know, we've got a nice steady 1080. The Shield puts out 720. It looks stunning. It looks absolutely stunning. Me personally, I haven't experienced any frame rate drops, and I've played about 10 hours worth of Breath of the Wild. I've been pretty busy. I wish I could have had more time, but I haven't noticed any I haven't noticed any kind of glitches, screen tears, frame rate drops, no software crashing. haven't noticed anything like that, but some of you have, and I can completely appreciate that we all have different, you know, experiences and thoughts around our, you know, using it. But me, I feel pretty lucky that it's so far been pretty darn smooth. So the software itself is a hell of a lot more streamlined and simplified compared to the Wii and the Wii U. I found with both the Wii and the Wii U there were lots of menus, lots of little offshoots, whereas this just seems incredibly straightforward. You create your profile, which is called your page. So Jess and I have our own page, and on there you can launch your games, you can go into your system settings, which are all located along the bottom of the screen. You know, you've got your everything you need basically along the bottom of the screen. Now, eShop, I cannot comment on the eShop, and I'm going to say this right now. Jess and I are going to be putting out a 2 Girls 1 Gaming topic. It's a playlist where we just talk basically. I get her involved, and we're going to talk about the eShop because I've never been a huge fan of the eShop. Never really used it, don't really want to play it, like download games to play, you know, especially retro, because I have a huge retro game collection. But if you've used kind of, you know, if you've been on the eShop and danced around in the eShop on this, and let me know what your thoughts are if you want to contribute below. So I can't comment on that, guys, but aside from the eShop, the operating system seems fluid, simple, and user-friendly. I was a little bit worried about kind of diving into it because I've never really found it. You know, like when you launch the Wii U, you kind of Mii's drop down and everybody's playing different games and you can see things. It can get a little bit mind-boggling. Not noticed that with this in the slightest. It's just super, super streamlined. So there we go, guys. A couple of my thoughts around the design of this thing, and a couple of my thoughts around the operating system and just general day-to-day use of it. Really, really happy overall, and I think it's worth every single penny. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the Switch over the next 12 months. And like I said, guys, share your thoughts below, tweet at me, send me some stuff on Instagram, and just let me know if you're having a great time with the Switch. Overall, things seem to be really, really positive, and I'm really, really happy because I think this is really put Nintendo back where they should be. I think they did lose their way a little bit with the Wii U. It didn't have the marketing love that the Switch has had, and I think already we're off to a really, really positive start. It's sold out most places. I did go back and speak to Ryan in Game, and it's just, they can't sell them quick enough. They don't actually have any to sell, but if people don't pick up pre-orders, then they're going to start selling what people haven't picked up. But out of that, they're sold out. They're completely sold out. So it's looking really good. We got Mario Kart coming, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, sorry, next month. We got Super Mario Odyssey, which I am dubious about. That's coming in the holiday period, so that will be interesting. And of course, you know, it's going to be nice to see this beautiful game, how this evolves. I'm dying to get back into it. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. So I just want to say thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I'll be back on Thursday with another video, but for now, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for more content, really helps me out. Give this video a big thumbs up. My name's Gemma, take care, guys, see you soon.